Mr. Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Mayor Van Johnson.
Present.
Mayor
Present.
Pro Tem and District 5 Alderwoman Dr. Estella Edwards Shabazz.
Present.
Chairman and District 4 Alderman Nick Palumbo.
Present.
Vice Chair and District 3 Alderwoman Linda Wilder.
Ready, let's go.
Post 1 Alderwoman Carolyn H. Bell.
Present.
Post 2 Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely.
Present.
District 1 Alderwoman Bernetta B. Lanier.
Present.
District 2 Alderman Dietrich Leggett.
Here.
And District 6 Alderman Curtis Pertee.
Back from the Bahamas and present.
Amen. Mr. Mayor, indeed you have the floor.
Thank you. All rise. I call this meeting of the Savannah City Council to order. Today is August the 13th, 2026. The time is 2:02 p.m. We welcome you here in our chambers and across our various digital platforms. Welcome to the greatest city on earth, where we say Savannah will be a safe, environmentally healthy, and economically thriving community for all, and for us, all means all. Today, our invocator will be introduced by 1st District Alderwoman Bernetta B. Lanier.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to be the invocator today.
Okay? Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. My pastor that I invited was unable to attend today, and that was Pastor Carl Gilliard, and I would like to ask you all to keep him and his family in prayer, and they're at the hospital with an immediate family member and a loved one, so thank you for that. The Book of Chronicles is an extension of chronicling the lineage of the tribe of Judah. And we come down to the member by the name of Jabez. And Jabez's names mean pain, and his mother named him that because she bared him in sorrow. But I do believe all of us are familiar with the prayer of Jabez that went, "Oh, that they would bless me, dear God, indeed, and increase my territory. Let your hand be upon me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain." And this was his prayer because he did not want his name to be a prophecy. And God blessed him and delivered him and his prayer. Shall we pray with the Our Father's prayer, please? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Thank you for the hearers and especially the doers of the word. Selah.
Selah. Thank you, ma'am. Let us honor our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr.
And
Mayor.
thank you, Alderwoman Lanier, for offering our invocation today. Let us move to our agenda. First item is approval of the regular meeting agenda for August the 13th, 2026.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to make a motion for the approval of the regular meeting agenda for August 13th, 2026.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion for items number 2, 3, and 4, 4, and 5, for the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held on July 9th, 2026 at 2:00 p.m. Number 3, for the approval of the minutes and to authorize the mayor to sign a related affidavit and resolution for the July 9th, 2026 executive session held regarding litigation, for the approval of the minutes for the work session and city manager's briefing held on July 9th, 2026 at 4:35 p.m. And number 5, for the approval of the minutes of the special call meeting held on July 9th, 2026 at 6:01 p.m.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes for the regular meeting held on July the 9th, 2026 at 2 p.m. Approval of the minutes and authorizing me to sign an affidavit and resolution for the July 9th meeting for an executive session held on litigation. Number 4, approval of the minutes of the work session, city manager's briefing on July the 9th at 4:35 p.m. And approval of the minutes of the special call meeting of council held on July the 9th at 6:01 p.m. You've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We will now have, a proclamation regarding Savannah 811 Day. We have 311, 411, 911, 311, and this is 811. So we're going to have our team come up to receive this proclamation. Thank you. The proclamation from the City of Savannah reads as follows. Whereas the City of Savannah is committed to protecting the safety of its residents, businesses, visitors, and the critical underground infrastructure that delivers essential services such as natural gas, electricity, water, wastewater, telecommunications, and internet connectivity. And whereas in 2005, the Federal Communications Commission designated 811 to provide contractors and homeowners with a simple number to contact utility operators to request the location of underground lines and intended dig site. The Savannah Utility Coordinating Committee, a stakeholder-driven organization dedicated to the prevention of damage to underground utilities in Georgia, promotes the National 811 notification system in an effort to reduce these damages. And whereas contacting 811 before digging is a free, simple, and effective step that allows utility operators to mark the approximate location of underground facilities, helping to prevent injuries, service interruptions, costly repairs, and environmental damage. And whereas promoting safe digging practices help protect utility workers, emergency responders, construction professionals, and the public while preserving the reliability of the infrastructure upon which our community depends. And whereas the City of Savannah joins utility providers, public works professionals, emergency management agencies, and safety advocates in encouraging education and awareness about damage prevention and responsible excavation practices throughout our community. Now, therefore, I, Banner R. Johnson II, Mayor of the City of Savannah, Georgia, do hereby proclaim August the 11th, 2026 as Savannah 811 Day and encourage contractors and homeowners throughout Georgia to always call, what number?
811.
Let's try this again. And encourage contractors and homeowners throughout Georgia to always call
811.
before digging, because safe digging is no accident. And witness whereof I have set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Savannah to be affixed. And who am I presenting this to?
Right here.
Oh,
I'm the chairman.
all right, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
How you doing? Thank you. Well, please,
Still have
let's go speak.
Oh. Jim, go ahead, Jim.
Now you make Jim speak.
Yeah.
Who's on third?
We appreciate the mayor and aldermen for honoring us this day. We are part of keeping Savannah safe, keeping our utilities from being hit, and keeping everything so that we can live safely here in Savannah. So thank you again for this proclamation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Laplander, just a moment before you leave, I see that you have a special lapel pin there over there. Would you remind us, what number do we have over there in that lapel pin for years of service to the city of Savannah?
30 years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to thank you all so much for showing up as representatives of all of the persons that work with you all. In construction and knowing how serious it is when contractors and folks even start to think about building structures, how important your work is. So I just want to, on behalf of all of us, just thank all of you for the serious work that you all do. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Why don't we go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves? Who you working for, especially if you're with Team Savannah.
David Myers, work with planning engineering supervisor over the locators.
All right, thank you.
Michael Dickens, planning engineer, also locator / marshal.
All right.
I'm Aga Beck, and I'm a senior civil engineer with Water Resources Planning and Engineering, and I also manage the city locators.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Gene Shervanock, Thomas and Hutton Engineering, and current chairman for the Savannah Utility Coordinating Committee.
I'm Brendan Cody, the liaison for Georgia 811.
All right.
Rick Campbell, City of Savannah locator.
Yeah.
Jamal Cason, City of Savannah.
All right.
Brandon Williams, City of Savannah, utility locator.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and what's the number to call? 811. All right, call before you dig. Thank you very much. You dig?
811 is not a joke.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, we're going to go to high altitude. We're going to ask you to strap in, put your seat back tables up. We have a monster agenda, and we are going to roll through this. So let's make it happen. I'm going to, just for expeditious purposes, let's move to item number 47 through 55, which is the Savannah Airport Commission.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Item number 47 is the approval to execute a contract with Georgia Power for demo air cargo Phase 2 project in the amount not to exceed $350,000. Item number 48 is approval to procure 2 full-size SUVs from O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln in the amount of $159,909. Item number 49 is approval to participate in Visit Savannah's international marketing event in the amount of $200,000. Item number 50 is the approval to ratify the acceptance of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act Airport Infrastructure Grant from the FAA in the amount of $3,555,843. Item number 51 is approval of a 3-year agreement with FinQuery in the amount not to exceed $40,000. Item number 52 is approval to procure New Deal long-term anti-icer from New Deal de-icing in the amount of $31,988. Item number 53 is approval to renew the annual license subscription for secure credentials from Tadera for 1 year in the amount of $81,597. Item number 54 is approval to award a contract to Aiken Harper Electrical Services to install an electric feeder to the emergency generator at the fuel farm in the amount of $64,558. Item number 55, approval to procure 2026 property liability insurance with Sterling Seacrest Pritchard in the amount of $1,736,899. Ladies and
Mayor?
gentlemen, what is your pleasure concerning this? Alderwoman Shabazz.
I move to adopt the agenda items as written, sir.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve the items as written. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving to items number 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 under alcohol license hearings. Item number 7 is approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink with Class A liquor, beer, and wine caterer and Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Susan Mary Ellen Schultz for the DeSoto at 15 East Liberty Street in Alderman District 2. Item number 8 is approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Vasilis Valagas Valimani, a restaurant located at 417 East River Street in Alderman District 2. Item number 9, approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Deep Patel for Nico Angelo, a restaurant located at 309 West Congress Street in the Aldermatic District 2. Item number 10, approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Stanley Martin for Midtown Sports Grill, a restaurant at 4521 Habersham Street in Aldermatic District 4. And item number 11, approval of a Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license to Sarah Bar Mattel for Cross Point Market, a convenience store at 401 East Montgomery Crossroads, also in District 4. Are there any pullouts regarding any of these items?
No, sir.
Okay, I now declare public hearing open for these items. Does anyone have anything against any of these items? Going once. Does anyone have anything to say against any of these items? Going twice. Anyone have anything to say against these items? You speak now, forever hold your peace.
Mr. Mayor.
Going once, going twice. Alderman Leggett.
I ask that we close the hearing.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, Aldermatic District 2. This is for the DeSoto.
Yes, sir.
Alderman Leggett.
Mr. Mayor, I ask that we approve the Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink, and a Class A liquor, beer, and wine caterer, and Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Susan Mary Ellen Sweet for the DeSoto.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 8. This is for Limani at 417 River Street. Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I ask that we approve the Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to the Lamani.
Second.
District 2.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 9. This is for Deep Patel for Nico Angelo at 309 West Congress Street. Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I ask that we approve the Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Deep Patel for Nico Angelo, 309 West Congress Street.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Item number 10. This is for Midtown Sports Grill at 4521 Habersham Street. Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Move for the approval of a Class C liquor, beer, wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sale to Stanley Martin for Midtown Sports Grill.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed. Motion passes 8-1. Item number 11 is for Cross Point Market, a convenience store, 401 East Montgomery Crossroads. Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Move for the approval of a Class E beer and wine by the package alcohol license to Sarah Patel at Cross Point Market.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 8-1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Go forth, be great, don't get in any trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to our public hearing for our 2026 property tax millage. The mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah will consider adopting a 2026 property tax millage rate of 11.749 mils, which is the same rate we adopted last year, and it's the rate used to develop the city's fiscal 2026 budget. If approved, the Savannah will continue to have its lowest property tax rate since 1987, while maintaining the services that our residents deserve and expect. Under Georgia law, every local government must calculate what is called a rollback millage rate, which is the rate that would have generated the same amount of property tax revenue as the previous year. So for 2026, the property rollback rate was determined to be 11.402 mils. Because the proposed rate of 11.749 mils is higher than the rollback rate of 11.402 mils, Georgia law requires the city to advertise it as a property tax increase, which does not make sense. No. Even though the millage rate itself is not changing from last year. Right. We continue to ask our state to make our laws make sense. For property tax owners who have assessed properties, who their assessed values have increased, and who are not protected by the Stevens Day exemption, maintaining the current millage rate represents a 3% increase over the rollback rate. So if you do not have the Stevens Day exemption on your homestead, the current millage rate represents a 3% millage over a 3% increase over the current millage rate. So for those, for example, a homeowner with a fair market value of $375,000 that does not qualify for the Stevens Day exemption would pay about $52.05 more a year. State law also requires that we have 3 public hearings before the city can adopt a millage rate above the rollback rate. These hearings give the residents an opportunity to share their comments before the mayor and aldermen take final action. We held a public hearing on Thursday, July the 9th at 6:01 p.m. We held one earlier today at 11 o'clock a.m., and today is our final one. All of the hearings have been held in our council chambers here at Savannah City Hall, 2 East Bay Street. Residents have the opportunity or afforded the opportunity to provide comments by speaking here in person at one of the public hearings. Also by submitting written comments to Mark Massey at Clerk of Council at savannahga.gov. Mr. Massey has thoroughly enjoyed receiving your public comments, and he has done a marvelous job of compiling every single one of them and forwarding them to council for our perusal. And written comments become a part of the official record, and so all of us have received them, correct, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, so that being said, following the required public hearings, the mayor and aldermen will consider adopting the fiscal year 2026 millage rate. So that being said, I'm now declaring this hearing open. Again, we have received quite a few public comments as it relates to this. Were any cards filled out, sir? Okay. Does anyone have anything to say regarding this particular item? Going once. Going twice. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to move to close the hearing.
Second motion.
All right, been properly moved and seconded that we close the hearing. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's go ahead and just move to the item to adopt.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Regarding item number 21, I move to approve and to amend the 2026 revenue ordinance to adopt the millage rate of 11.749 mils as the final millage rate for 2026.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. Please proceed with the adopted millage rate. Thank you very much. We will now have a public hearing for the solid waste management plan, which has also been forwarded, and I declare that public hearing now open. Are there any comments? Mr. Clerk, have we received any comments regarding this?
No, sir.
Okay. Is anyone in here that would like to speak about it? Going once, going twice. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Mr. Mayor?
Hold on, one more time. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move for the hearing to be closed. Second motion.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's go ahead and move on this.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Regarding corresponding item number 56, I move to approve the resolution authorizing the adoption of the solid waste management plan.
Second.
All right, I believe there's 56 and 57.
Yes.
There's a resolution there too. So why don't we go ahead, we'll take 56 for Alderman Palumbo's motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, but since we're close to it, Alderman Palumbo, would you mind doing 57 as well?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the resolution authorizing designated officials to provide written verifications required for solid waste handling permits.
Second motion.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. I'm going to skip over zoning hearings just for a moment to go to purchasing items, and then I'll come back to this. If you look under items number 22 through 46, are there any pullouts?
Mr. Mayor, if there are no pullouts,
24,
Pulling 24?
25,
Okay.
28, 36.
All right, we're going back to the, let's go on back. All right, let's go back. We'll go back. We'll come back to the purchasing items. I didn't think it would pullouts. All right, we'll go to zoning hearings, item number 14.
Mr. Mayor, I can talk with the city manager for the expediency of the length of the meeting. I'll talk with the city manager on it.
Are these items that you oppose, or you just have more
No,
questions?
no, I just had a question on it. I'll talk with the city manager. We can go ahead with it.
All right. Are there any other pullouts?
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of items number 22, 23, 26, 27.
Wait, go 24, 25,
Add those.
Yeah,
Okay.
add 'em.
22 through 46.
22 through 46.
There's second.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve items number 22 through 46. And for expediency, I'm going to just, item number 22, go ahead. You want to go ahead?
Clear your throat.
All right, get some water. All right. Move for the authorization for the city manager to execute a contract to Tiburon Automated Reporting System. Tiburon. Well, see, here we go. with Central Swear Technologies Incorporated, an amount not to exceed $208,488.17. Item number 23, authorize the city manager to execute contract modification number 1 for polymers with Polydyne Incorporated, an amount not to exceed $103,000. Number 24, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Johnson Lux Construction LLC for the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement 1's expansion project in the amount of $860,000. Number 25, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with XGD Systems LLC for the construction of Daffin Park Turf Fields Improvement Project in the amount of $3,563,840.43. Item number 26, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Lynn Construction for the renovation of the Sally Mood Fleet Services Center restroom project in the amount of $280,000. Item number 27, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with the Pelote Corporation for Liberty Street Parking Garage exterior envelope and cosmetic repairs in the amount of $230,000. Item number 28, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Insight Public Sector Incorporated to provide and install audiovisual command and control system to serve as the technological core of the Northwest Precinct's real-time public safety center in the amount of $1,586,639. Item number 29, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Metro Elevator for the modernization of the Liberty Street parking garage elevators in the amount of $697,345. Item number 30, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for the prefabricated ADA restroom for the Daffin Park Swimming Pool with Restroom Facilities, LTD, in the amount not to exceed $212,044. Item number 31, authorize the city manager to execute a contract modification number 1 for well maintenance with Woodrow Sapp well drilling in the amount of $150,000. Item number 32, authorize the city manager to execute a contract with TDH for an aeration basin blower replacement in an amount not to exceed $2,818,035.51. Item number 31, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for citywide overhaul of the sewer conveyance monitoring infrastructure with Utility Solutions and Automation LLC in an amount not to exceed $2,451,400. Item number 34, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for armed security services with various city facilities with Sun States Security Services in an amount not to exceed $3,300,000. Item number 35, authorize the city manager to rescind award for 2 super heavy-duty rescue pumpers in the amount of $2 million from Sutphen and award enforcer pumpers to Pierce Manufacturing in the amount of $2,660,000. Item number 36, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for Nighthawk user license from Leads Online in the amount of $60,750. Item number 37, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for 2 combination sewer cleaner trucks in the amount of $2,382,417.59. Item number 38, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for 1 CCTV inspection van from Roush Electronics in the amount of $406,979.54.
Take a breath right here. Go ahead.
Hold on, we got this. All right, it was a good idea at the time. Item number 39, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for electronic timekeeping system with Time Clock Plus in the amount of $64,712. Item number 40, authorize the city manager to execute an annual contract for water and sewer laterals, utility cut repair with Sam J Services and SABE Incorporated in the amount of $950,000. Number 41, authorize the city manager to execute an annual contract for the disposal of biosolids with Waste Management of Georgia Incorporated, Superior Landfill, in an amount not to exceed $3,900,000. Item number 42, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for network maintenance and purchases with MGT Impact Solutions LLC in the amount of $122,869.89. Item number 43, authorize the city manager to execute contract modification number 2 for the design of Ogeechee Road Water and Sewer relocation with Thomas & Hutton Engineering in an amount not to exceed $200,418. Item number 44, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for Brazos e-citation software with Tyler Technologies Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $77,876.32. Item number 45, authorize the city manager to execute a contract modification for financial advisor services to provide a fee structure when bond issuance exceeds $75 million with PFM Financial Advisors LLC. And finally, item number 46, authorize the city manager to execute contract modification number 1 for a new 16-inch main upgrade for Casey Canal drainage improvements with the industrial company in an amount not to exceed $1,499,905.
Let us give a round of applause to Alderman Palumbo.
That's how you do it. Good job. Say that 3 times.
I bet you he won't volunteer again.
No, I'm good.
And a quick teachable moment. We do this because obviously there are people watching on our digital platforms or watching on TV that we just say numbers, but this is big money attached to those numbers. We want to read it so people understand very, very clearly what we're spending their money on. So all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. Moving to zoning hearings, item number 14 is petition of Dana Collins of DCE Enterprises for a special use permit, accessory alcohol sales in association with a restaurant with conditions for 0.12 acres at 10 East 41st Street. I understand there is a change regarding this? Is this? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and proceed.
Good afternoon. Eli Zarka, Senior Planner from the MPC. I will be presenting this item as well as the other zoning hearing items before you today. So this is item 26 TAC 002395ZA for 10 East 41st Street. This is a special use permit to allow for the on-premise consumption of alcohol in connection to a proposed restaurant. I will just key that word proposed as the restaurant is not currently there. They are seeking operation and seeking this as one of the first steps to make sure they could open and run it the way they believe they need to. Here is the future land use map and the zoning map, and I'll also go back really quick here. Top left, plan top left is Starland Yard, just to give you an idea of where this is and the proximity and the type of businesses that are in this area. For the future land use, both the zoning and future land use are traditional commercial. That would be this red color that you see the dominant side on the map on the left, and traditional commercial 1 being the dominant zoning district. So it is very appropriate for both the restaurant use is appropriate in both the future land use and the zoning. Here is the current building, just to give you an idea of the location, because again, currently it is not a restaurant, it is proposed to be one. There is also a picture I did not include, but the rear of the building, which has a large yard area, that is just something that I'll bring up in a minute, because that is something that some of the neighbors that came out were concerned with. So the property is 0.12 acres, relatively small, but again, pretty typical for this area, and even larger than most of the neighboring lots. It is adjacent to the Starland area and is in the Thomas Square neighborhood. Per the zoning ordinance, NUZO, retail consumption dealer requires a special use permit. The petitioner intends to establish a restaurant with alcohol sales and catering services. And again, as I previously noted, the property is designated traditional commercial in both the future land use and the zoning. One thing I did want to mention before I get here to the recommendation, we did have some members of the community that did come out and speak at the public hearing at Planning Commission. They were concerned with vagrancy in the area and the state that the property was in before the current owners. So a lot of them are in favor, particularly because of what it will do to clean up that particular property. So I will note here we have two slightly different recommendations, as the Planning Commission recommended approval of the special use permit subject to 2 conditions. The first being the special use permit shall be non-transferable, so a new operator would be required to come back both to Planning Commission and this body to seek a separate approval for a special use permit, and that operational hours shall be limited to 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The MPC staff recommendation had 4 conditions. It was recommendation for approval. The first condition is the same. The special use permit shall be non-transferable. The second condition, which is one of the ones that the Planning Commission decided not to include, operate only in conjunction with the restaurant use. The third was alcohol sales are limited to on-premise consumption only. The fourth is to limit the hours of alcohol service from noon to 11 p.m. Monday and then Wednesday through Sunday, as the operator is proposing to be closed on Tuesdays. If I can interpret the Planning Commission's conditions, they thought that the hours proposed in the staff recommendation were too restrictive, and they did want to give the operator some flexibility there.
Eli, can I interject real quick
Yes.
on something? I just want to make council aware there is an error in our agenda where we put forward in the packet to approve the MPC staff recommendation. It was just an error in which recommendation we put into the packet where we would normally recommend to approve the MPC, the commission's itself recommendation. So I just want to make that clear as you get to the time to approve regarding whether or not you want to approve the MPC recommended action or the MPC staff recommended action.
I guess, Mr. Manager, I'm a little perturbed about why we received 2 recommendations. I mean, the reality is MPC is a body, and so you basically have, the action and the recommendation, and in some cases they possibly conflict. I think, obviously for us, when the city decides, the city decides. Staff may decide, have recommendations. Ultimately, the council decides, and that is the action of the city. So I guess you're on NPC, and that's maybe a conversation I know we'll have later on. But here you're looking at an action, you're looking at a recommendation, and you're looking at operation hours that are coming from the same place that actually conflict.
Yes, sir. And it has been MPC's practice lately to include both the commission's recommendation as well as the staff recommendation if they differ in this presentation. But understanding that concern, I'll relay that to MPC.
I'll help. Thank you. This is a public hearing regarding this item. Does anyone here have anything regarding this item? Do we have any, Mr. Clerk, do we have any cards? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
One moment. Anyone in the gallery? Going once, going twice. Speak now. Is there a motion to close?
Mr. Mayor.
Move to close the hearing.
Move close. Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is there some way we can get the MPC Executive Director to the mic, if you don't mind? I need to hear some clarity on this.
With regards to why you've got two recommendations.
Please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry. Melanie Wilson, Executive Director and CEO of the Metropolitan Planning Commission. The reason that you have two recommendations is that previously you wanted both. There have been a few times where the staff recommendation. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. Melanie Wilson, Executive Director, CEO of the Metropolitan Planning Commission. Just briefly, the reason that you end up with two recommendations, and we're more than happy to change it, is because in the past, there have been very few times where the staff recommendation was either you as a body wanted to get both recommendations. It made it easier, instead of you having to read the whole staff report, to know what the staff recommendation was and what the final recommendation is coming from the MPC body. That's why you've got both. I'm just explaining to you why you have both. If you ultimately only want to get at this presentation one recommendation, we will be glad to make that accommodation. But that is why you have the staff recommendation as well as the MPC board recommendation, because we were asked to do that probably years ago when I first got here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know who to direct this question to, but I'm looking at item number 14, and in the description, it says 10 East 41st Street, and then when it comes down to the exhibit, it says 10 East 40th Street. Is that a typographical error?
The correct location is 41st Street.
It's 41st Street.
Yes, ma'am.
It might be a scrivener's error on our part. Mr. Manager?
I'm not sure where you're looking. It could be.
In the agenda. Just on the agenda.
The
On the
description.
agenda item? Yeah, it's 41st Street.
It is 41st Street. This is the Brown House. Oh.
So there's an exhibit for combined maps for 10 East 40th Street. I think it's just the title of the exhibit is incorrect.
Uh-huh.
So,
So this is a house that's asking for a house that turned into a business?
It is not yet a restaurant. They are proposing that restaurant, so they would be doing some construction. Whether they keep the existing shell or not, they have not proposed to us, at least, at this time. They're trying to see if they can get this special use so they can then proceed with the rest of the things they need to do to initiate the business.
Wow, a house that they're turning into it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir.
We can't even drive down 41st Street because the street should really be deemed a one-way street, because either on both sides of that street is very, very narrow and only one car can go down the street at a time. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I didn't see, and when was this deemed a traditional commercial street when there's more houses on the street than businesses?
So it was designated traditional commercial with Nuzo So that would have been 2019 when the new zoning ordinance was enacted that created that district. It hasn't been changed since the zoning ordinance was rewritten and that district was created and adopted.
That's 2019. That's the second time I heard 2019 today. A lot of things changed in 2019. I just found out that there on that street there are multiple short-term vacation rentals that would have been deemed illegal. But as again, 2019, it shows that some things have been changed, and we need to find out, you know, when that was changed. I guess it happened prior to us being in office, Mr. Mayor.
That was the new zone of 2019, yes.
Yes, sir.
The new zoning ordinance, yes.
Okay, so that happened prior to us being in office. And did you also say that neighbors did come out and against this?
So, two things I'll clarify earlier. The traditional commercial district as well as the traditional neighborhood kind of do allow a mix of both residential and commercial kind of in the same district, so it isn't unheard of for some of the traditional commercial districts to allow housing. Now, usually that housing is in the form of multifamily in that district, but it does have some single family.
So by being deemed traditional commercial, so it'll have a by right status that it'll be able to build there, or is it depending on our vote?
For the restaurant itself is by right. The special use is specifically for the on-premise consumption.
I'm trying to understand how come they haven't even started construction or haven't gotten a construction permit yet, but they're asking for alcohol special use?
I may have to ask the petitioner to argue that. I would say based on the testimony they gave at the Planning Commission, the project is really only possible and practical with the sales of alcohol. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to run the business cost effectively.
So this is another thing that I'm always asking. We want to make sure that the cart doesn't go before the horse, and we've been asking them multiple times that when certain things like this, even before it get to the MPC, that at least staff or someone be able to give us an opportunity to weigh in on it, so that we will have a conversation with the community. Now we're going back to talk to the community. Sometimes I just feel like people playing with us. So it's just, I want to try to figure out how do we correct this situation before it gets out like this right here, because the more I look at it, we are voting today on housing and how we have housing insecurity in the city of Savannah, and there's 2 houses that can be rehabbed into houses that the community can have, but for a block like this who has a very high volume of traffic, I don't see a lot of people who are vagrant on that street. A lot of houses have been revamped, and they do have short-term vacation rental status, but I just wanted to make sure that my colleagues understood what we're looking at right here, because the neighborhood association is okay with it. The Metropolitan Planning Commission board has deemed it, given their blessings, but I really can't see it, because this is a house that they're going to turn into a bar. That one, a bar, then 2 is going to not have the parking on the street. Because yesterday when I went there, I had to park at Popeyes just to walk across here to just walk and knock on all of those doors. So you vote your conscience, but I just wanted to understand how do we get here, because I still continue to say I feel like I'm being played with every time this kind of stuff comes before us.
If I may answer your earlier question too, that, sorry, I didn't answer at the time. The one permanent resident, at least he claimed to be the only person who actually full-time lived on that block, as the other houses are short-term rentals. He was in support of this application. He was at the Planning Commission.
Understand.
Generally, I don't believe we had much public comment, but generally they were in favor. As far as parking, the building is still within the streetcar historic district.
Correct.
So as far as code-wise, they don't have to provide more parking, whether that is appropriate or not, again, up to your discretion.
Even when it's time to do construction on said property, they won't have parking to park the first truck there. Ma'am, we're not taking any more public comment.
Well, one moment. Alderman, finish, please.
So I'm looking at that, and I'm just trying to just get some understanding about it.
All right, let me see if I can help make a little sense of it. First of all, it's a property that is privately owned, and so folks can do what they want to with their property. If it's a house, it doesn't have to necessarily maintain a house as long as the zoning is appropriate, right? The reason why they're coming to us and construction has not commenced yet, because the fact is they're not going to put the cart before the horse, because if they started the construction, then came to us, and we said no, then they wasted their money in construction, right? All right, so I think that's kind of what they're asking for, is before they even consider going down that road, they're coming to us to see whether we will grant a special use permit. And because it's in the streetcar district already, then additional parking is not required, right?
So where's the initial parking?
That is
gonna be?
correct.
It's not additional.
Existing parking.
Existing parking is.
Existing parking.
Existing parking is the parking that
Right.
the city provides 2 parking spaces.
Existing parking.
But
It does not require any additional parking.
okay, so we can just put a business there, and if they don't have any place to park it.
In the streetcar district,
It's a hardship on the rest of the community.
in the streetcar district.
Like
It does not require as a part of the application for there to be parking provided.
But again, Mr. Mayor, I just want to, I'm not saying I'm for or against it, I'm just wanting to make sure that the public understood what we were doing.
Right.
Why we're advocating for it, and what are we looking at when it pertains to this business, this potential business.
Right, that's why they're coming to us, because it's appropriate for them to come to us before they do anything. Ma'am, you had something regarding, she's a petitioner?
Yes.
All right, come on. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, come and state your name for the record, please.
I'm Dana Collins. I'm the petitioner. We've met Councilman Leggett. We've met before. There is parking in the back of the building for the construction, and
How many
there's
spaces?
About 8. So there's plenty of room for trucks and commercial, and the dumpster. It won't be on the front and the street, so that won't be an issue.
Okay. Alderwoman Blakely.
Mr. Mayor, I guess this question would be to you, Mr. City Manager, or to our MPC Director. Mr. Mayor, you just said that they pay MPC for a special use permit, correct?
No.
Okay, how does that process work?
The special use, well, Mr. Manager.
So we require special uses. A special use permit for certain uses in certain zoning districts. The majority of special uses that this council sees, at least in my 5-year tenure, has been special use permit requests for accessory alcohol sales in traditional neighborhood and traditional commercial zoning districts, which is the urban core of the city. And in those traditional neighborhood and traditional commercial districts, we require an extra step, an extra zoning step for property owners to be allowed to apply for an alcohol license. We say that alcohol sales in those districts are a special use and therefore have to come through MPC for their staff review and a public hearing and recommendation from MPC, as well as a public hearing for City Council for a presentation, public hearing, and a vote for City Council. So this is a zoning entitlement. It's a special use for a zoning to allow the use, and this use specifically being the on-premise sale of alcohol at a restaurant that is otherwise by right.
Let me ask you a question. Do the petitioners have to pay for this special use when they go to MPC?
Yes, there is a fee to petition the city and MPC for any zoning entitlement change.
If this petitioner does not get this license today, if we vote against it.
The special use permit.
The special use permit, thank you. Are they reimbursed their monies, or what happens with that?
No, I mean, the application fee is an application fee. And, you know, you pay an application fee.
Is it a standard fee?
It is a standard fee.
And what is that amount?
I can get that before the hearing is over.
You can tell me.
No, I was just going to say right now, we do not take the applications for these permits. The applications come to the city planning and urban design department, and they then send the applications over to us for review. I'm sure the applicant can tell you what they paid for the special use permit. But in their particular case, they've got a building permit, but the building permit is to do the upfit for a restaurant because this is supposed to be a restaurant as well. The alcohol sales is an accessory to the restaurant, and that is
So-
what brought them here.
Ma'am, what did you pay for this special use permit fee?
To apply, it was almost 3,000.
The fee is $2,300.
So in the event that this person, if we, the council, vote against this today, she will not be reimbursed for that amount?
No.
Oh, wow. So, Mayor Johnson, I heard you say something about putting the horse before the cart. Mr. City Manager, I think we need to go back and look at that because that's an astronomical amount of money. And if she does not get, or whoever does not get the license, then that's
Well, we can
kind of
certainly,
expensive
we
to
can,
me.
we can understand, and we can certainly discuss that as we bring up the fee ordinance as a part of the annual budget process as well. But all of our development services, whether that's building permits, whether that's zoning entitlements, they all have fees associated with them. And those revenues are part of how we pay for the ability to review those applications.
Cost of doing business.
And inspect the building permits afterwards.
That is similar to what the Archer Group did that came here for 901 Drayton Street, the old Masonic Hall building. That's a similar situation.
I cannot quite recall what they were asking for. I think they were asking for rezoning.
There was a rezoning and potentially this same application coming
Yeah.
later.
So we're talking, so the special use permit, there are fees for rezonings as well. And we're also talking about an issue that's coming later about who takes the applications and where the fees start out with, which is on your docket for a little later. But anytime anybody is trying to rezone their property, ask for a zoning entitlement like a special use, apply for a building permit, tap into our water and sewer system, there are fees associated with that, and they are spelled out in our fee
I just wanted
ordinance.
the public to know
Yes, ma'am.
what was going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
I'm good. How are you?
Questions, when we're talking about letting the horse get out the gate. And so, I'm sure you have a business plan. In your business plan, are you going to demolish that?
No. Currently, it's a duplex. We're simply going to combine the two.
I'm just wanting to know.
No, we're not. No, we want to maintain the building.
So you're not going to demolish it, and so what is your occupancy? What is going to be your occupancy for those? Is it going to be one building or two buildings?
It'll be one building, and the occupancy will probably be around 30 seats, and then outdoor seating as well.
Well, my question is, yes, you can do whatever you want to do with your property, but the whole idea of us sitting up here is that we do not want to change the quality of life. There's a whole bunch of stuff going over there, and one of the problems that we have is the parking. So the people who already live over there, that's going to change the quality of life. And if you start doing, even if you're in the back and you're saying that the developers are going to be able to not impede or stop what's going on in the community, everybody sitting there, no, that's not going to be true, right? That's one of the things. And so you are going to have to come back and get a liquor license. So I'm asking MPC, we don't know what, she's going to stand on that. I thought she was going to change the existing framework, so she's not going to do that. I get
It's just
that,
some
right?
interior. We're adding a kitchen and some bathrooms, and we're keeping the floors, the walls. So it's not a major construction project.
It is major if
It's
you live
not,
over there.
I mean, we're not taking out the floors or the walls or,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying that any business that comes into a community and it changes the outlook and what's happening in that community, whether it's positive or negative, we sit up here because it is your money and it's your right to do that. But for me, if it's going to be a detriment to that community, I wouldn't be voting for it. I'm sorry.
I can understand that. I understand
Thank
your
you so much
position.
for wanting
Thank you.
to own business.
I just want to, right now, the block has one resident. Everyone else is an Airbnb.
But But
This-
the whole scheme of things, that
yeah.
I'm talking about, people can't park in front of their houses now. And so you're bringing another business in this community where people are scrambling from the 39th Street, 40, 41st to have an additional place to park.
There was
That
a
is the
restaurant
development.
across the street that he sold the building and recently moved, so there has been a restaurant on the street, and most people come from the neighborhood.
The same people who live there and can't park in front of their houses, that's my point.
And
It's going to be great.
there are 8 spaces behind the.
There are spaces
They're
behind the
right,
building.
would be used for construction, but ultimately will be used for
When
parking.
they could be used for parking, they can be used, there's parking spaces, and so like when they're doing the interior, adding the kitchen, they can park in those spaces so that the pickup trucks aren't on the 41st Street. They'll be behind the house.
So there's no major development, but you've got a big dumpster. And so are you going to be gutting that place?
No.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alderwoman Lanier, and then Alderman Palumbo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think I had a question, and it was answered just now, and I had a comment. I wanted to also know where you're using the entire building, and you did answer that, so thank you for that. That was my question. And the comment, I guess, is more towards management in this council, because I think the issue before me here is that this is such a stark juxtaposition of how we deal with leniency versus restrictive uses of the same thing. We're so lenient procedurally, because I know these things are procedural, you've applied, it comes up to us, but we're so lenient in certain instances, and then we're so extra restrictive. It's like from one end of the pendulum to the other. And so we are going to have to find that place in the middle where we do not impose inequities and create barriers to people doing business. We have some work to do. The young man from the MPC said that if you did not get this, and then it won't make sense for you to even do the business, because we realize that alcohol is a revenue driver. And so your business is contingent upon that. And that's an important point right there, because that's the point that I've been trying to raise a lot lately, that we grant so many. You saw a whole barrage of people leave out of here, and that's every time we have a meeting, because they want this revered revenue license, alcohol revenue license, so you can make money. And you're in business to make money. You're going to have a good time, but that's a byproduct. You're making money. That's why you're there. You're a businesswoman. I understand that. But it reeks of impropriety when we're so lenient and allowing so much in one area, and then in other areas we're so extra restrictive, just the other end. And I just want to make that point, guys, because we need to think about that, because we have created this systemic, we have perpetuated. We didn't create it because it's been in place even before us, but we're perpetuating this systemic problems where we're creating barriers. And that's a problem. And this is a stark example of it today, where this will be very lenient if we pass this, but we have people wanting to do the same thing you're doing, and we're so restrictive, it's absolutely not. We won't even take your application. So those are just the points I needed to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Palumbo. Well,
Thank you,
okay,
Mr.
go ahead.
Mayor. I think we're all greatly confused. So I'd like to slow down just for a second.
Confused.
Excuse me, please.
One moment.
If I may, this is genuine. I'm actually seeking some guidance from our staff. Help me understand, this is a special use permit, but even if approved today, would still have to go for an alcohol beverage license hearing if they want to pursue this.
Yes.
So this is a prophylactic action in addition to the alcohol beverage license hearing. For the special use permit, which is the agenda item that we're looking at right now, are there any parameters for recommendation for approval or not approval? I know for alcohol beverage licenses, it's proximity to schools, or is this just at the will of council?
All right, so I'm gonna try to bring this a little bit closer to me. So I always feel bad for the petitioner or anyone who kind of ends up in the crosshairs here. But at the same time, y'all, this is a perfect example of what a special use permit is. A special use permit almost has bad branding. We should have come up with a different name. But what it is, it's a close call. That's what this permit is. It's a situation where Look, you can't set up a bar in the middle of the Highlands, okay? You can set up a bar on Broughton Street. This is a close call. This is, say, Hayes near here, Popeyes is near here. There used to be a restaurant across the street. There are Airbnbs, but there are also homeowners. There's parking at issue here. And so it is up to council to make this close call, and that's what a special use permit really is. So to your point, Alderman, so it goes to the MPC. And the MPC makes a recommendation. They look at the totality of the circumstances, and that's kind of the prerequisite before it gets to you. Just like staff has made one recommendation, the council, the MPC made a different recommendation. It's ultimately up to you and based upon what you've heard and what you've received. Did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. And we've talked about now parking, we've talked about uses, like, are those outside of the scope, or are they supposed to be in the special use discussion?
Absolutely in the discussion.
Okay. Well, and I look at the zoning, and it is TC1 as is, and I pulled up the map, and you can have a funeral home by right, you can have a contractor's office by right, you can have a boarding room up to 10 people by right, you can have a museum or a library. That would be cool. So really, it's do we want a restaurant here or not? And I know that that is as tough as nails business as you could get, and the margins are extremely challenging. So yeah, if I were opening up a restaurant and wanted to seek that market opportunity, I'd try to pursue one too. So it looks like they're doing the right thing to actually do it the right way before they begin construction, which makes sense. Of like, I'm not gonna go out and do this entire venture, but I'll YOLO $2,300 to see if this is actually gonna work, and if City Council says no. I'd like to emphasize something the mayor was getting at, but I'll take it a step further. This process entirely of whose responsibility it is, where it goes, what happens, is entirely confusing and ridiculous. It is ridiculous that the petitioners have to go through this trial by fire while they come up here just to seek our approval for something, and they're judged based on these merits, because I think lower governing bodies are not doing their responsibilities by building consensus. They're giving us double recommendations that are confusing for me, and I've been up here 6.5 years to try to understand, to build some consensus with the neighborhood, or help us understand if there is neighborhood support, if there's unanimous support on the board, what does it mean, to get more clarity on whose responsibility it is. Because what's ended up happening here today is we end up relitigating the entire thing all over again. And what I think we all agree upon, staff, petitioners, the public, is this process stinks. It stinks. The only people that win are the ones that know how to master it, and there's a handful of people that get highly paid and they do it very well, and I think that we need to start over. I think we need to start over and gut the entire thing. I do not know why we allow county appointees to weigh in on our city decisions. I don't know. I want to see the cost-benefit analysis of how many full-time employees we get for our investment in that governing body. I would like to see their audits. I want to see their records. I want to put it on the agenda that we have a full, wholehearted discussion. Because as many times as we've tried to make this more clear, it gets messier, it gets political, and it sucks. It sucks for all of us. And we got to do a better job. Our team's doing the best that it can, but we shouldn't have to be up here as city councilors relitigating this entire thing that has probably been in the works for how long? 6 months? 8 months? And you put $2,300 down just to get a question mark up here on the second floor of City Hall? We can do better than this for a special use permit on 41st Street, and those are my comments. Thank you.
Alderwoman Bell.
So I'll be brief after that. But I do want to know from the district alderman, what did you say early on about the response from the neighbors, the people? What are the residents saying?
No, ma'am, we couldn't get a response from the neighbors because there's only one resident on the street. Everything else is Airbnb.
Okay.
Short-term vacation rental. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Like Alderman Palumbo said, I think the process should be revisited. Not this item, but the process should be revisited, because by the time it goes to MPC, I think the district alderman, if not the at-large, both should have a conversation prior to coming to City Council, because by the time it gets to City Council, we have to go through all of this right here, what we're going through right now with 75 items on the table. But with that being said, Mr. Mayor, I'm ready to vote. Do we have to close it here?
Well, we're going to deal, I think one of our strategic items, and we'll get into this later, was evaluating the relationship and the processes. So that's for a different place at a different time. You had a question about this item?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted Mr. Bates, our attorney, to give us a Mr. Bates, can you tell us what Nouveau was supposed to
Nuzo.
accomplish? Nuzo?
New zoning order.
New zoning, yes.
That's an amazing question, Alderwoman. So, NUZO was passed, I think it was my second council meeting, and so I wasn't involved in the actual drafting of it, but I was city attorney when it was approved. So it was, we were doing so much spot zoning, and we were so focused on every single parcel of land that the idea was, and this was, I think, 12 years ago at this point.
Clearly.
That they would, okay, we're just gonna do a full reeval of what we want within our municipality. And so they tried to rezone collectively blocks of land to say, hey, this is what we're gonna do here, this is what we're gonna do here, and this is what we're gonna do there, so that we stop the spot zoning. Does that answer your question?
It answers my questions, but I'm in agreement with the alderman from the 4th District. It's a mess, and it's heartbreaking to see people come up here who've put money invested in it, but that's part of their plan, and I understand that. But we've got to do better, and we can't just put it all on MPC. It's our staff too. And so it's everybody in this wheel, and we keep pointing fingers at this person's not doing that, and this person's not doing that. But we've got these things in place, and then we come with these special permits that just throws everything out the water. And so we just got to do better. We've got to do better how we treat citizens, and we got to do, because the citizens are coming, we're citizens too. We have problems with taxes and houses and stuff, and people negate the fact that the same thing that they are experiencing, we are experiencing too. Ms. Collins, and you and everybody else who comes to stand in front of us, but we do need some consistency of how we issue these licenses and how they move forward, and how some people have attorneys and some of them don't, and so you have people who are able to petition and advocate for them better than other people. If we have some consistency in the process, we wouldn't have Ms. Collins and other people who come in front of us, but yeah, I'm in agreement with the alderman and the mayor. Yeah.
Well, let's be clear now,
Yeah.
because
That's just my.
I understand. I just want to make sure, because I think it's oftentimes important that the clarification is given. This process is doing what it's supposed to do. The purpose of a special use was to ensure that there were some things that rose to an additional level of public scrutiny that was felt that council wanted the opportunity to be able to review because of its unique nature. So, I mean, the fact is that we're giving it the due consideration. Otherwise, it would have just been approved by right, and that just would have been it. Yeah. I think these types of things are the things that council, particularly at the time, said, you know what, we would like to weigh in on this again. And there'll be some other items that we're going to want to weigh in on rather than just being approved by right. So, I mean, regardless of how we got there, the fact is that this is giving it the additional scrutiny, the additional review that we felt, council and staff felt that it deserved. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and you just said exactly my comments that I wanted to say. During the time when NUZO, massive amount of work that was put into all of that, and when the vote came forward in 2019, at that time, it was, the council at that time knew that it was the right thing to do. But I just wanted to say, not to negate the extraordinary work that was done by MPC and by the city staff when all of them, when they went through the entire zoning. I mean, we're talking about volumes of work and some years of work that was done. And Mr. Mayor just made the comment, was that at the time, it was the right thing to do, and this special use process is doing what it's supposed to do based on the work that was done in the past when NUZO and the processes was moving forward. So I just want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for making the comment, and I just want to bring the past and to kind of make it, give a review on the extraordinary work that happened and how we got to this position, understanding my colleagues, there is always room for improvement. So not negating their comments, we can move forward. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to move on. Yes,
I
ma'am.
just have one comment.
Yes.
We are looking, and everybody agrees that we need to look into this and we need to tweak it better than what it is, and I totally agree. But I want to say this, and I know we're not talking about this, but I just want this on the record. We need to do the same thing with our alcohol overlays as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so what is your pleasure concerning this?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I ask that the petitioner of Dana Collins for DC Enterprises, Inc., I ask that we approve the special use permit with accessory sales in association with the restaurant and conditions, East 41st Street.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes 7-2. Did you oppose, Alderman Bell? 7-2. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. This is just what we do. We got to go through it. We got to work through it. You got to move through it. So good to see our Roger Moss, our school board president here.
Mr. McCormick, too much.
Well, I mean, you know, we got to work through it sometimes. Item number 15 is petition of Robert McCork on behalf of Train Track Investment, LLC, for Turn Williams of Boxcar General, LLC, for a special use permit to permit accessory alcohol sales in association with a restaurant with conditions for .09 acres at 410 East 37th Street, Automatic District 2. I believe the petition has requested that this item be continued. We have a date certain, sir?
No, sir, we do not.
So we'll just continue it indefinitely?
When ready to pull that item forward, we will.
All right, Mr. McCorkle, does that represent where you are? You're not billing them. You're sitting here. I mean, you know, you good? All right, very good. All right,
I think the city manager is going to have a conversation with me before I get back on the agenda.
Sure. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and continue this in a date in the future. So why don't we just make that motion regarding that item? Alderman Leggett, let's just make a motion that we'll just continue this indefinitely.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I ask that we continue item number 15, the petition of Robert McCork on behalf of the Train Track Investments, LLC. We ask that we continue this until further notice.
Yes. There's a second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 16 is a petition of Eric Scott and Ashley Scott for a zoning map amendment for RSF 20 to RMF 2-15 with a condition for .45 acres at 0 Mohawk Street in Automatic District 6. This has been asked to be continued to August the 27th. Alderman Purty, you have a motion on that?
Mr. Mayor, I ask that I recuse myself from any vote because of relationship.
All right. Alderman Purty.
Mr. Mayor, move to continue this item till August 27th.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Thank you very much. Alderman, come on back.
Teacher,
Item number, come on back.
we finished.
Oh, item number 17 and 18. Well, 17 is a petition of Bridget Liddy on behalf of the mayor and alderman of the city of Savannah, Georgia, for a zoning text amendment for Articles 2.0 review bodies and administrators, 3.0 application and review procedures, 6.0 special 3 purpose districts, 7.0 overlay districts, 8.0 use standards, 9.0 general site standards, and 13.0 abbreviations and definitions to facilitate the transfer of authority of application intake from the city of Savannah to the Chatham County Savannah Metropolitan Planning Commission, and to provide a more concise process for the public in processing of development applications. And also we'll take 17, then we'll talk 18, but they'll be similarly situated today. So go ahead.
Good afternoon again. Eli Zarka, Senior Planner for the MPC. This is item 26, TAC 002369-ZA. I am calling this application intake, again, to several portions of the zoning ordinance to facilitate the transfer of authority for application intake. So currently, the city intakes most applications, and that would be the applications that go to the Planning Commission. and then transfers those applications to MPC staff once paid for and all those items are submitted. So language changes are being made to titles and authorities to clarify who is now the authority for those procedures. This is mainly being done by changing every reference for planning director to MPC director. Where relevant, that is part of why this ordinance changes so many pages, because that change is made approximately 190 times across the ordinance. Clarifications and definitions are being prescribed for the requirements of pre-application meetings, as well as which applications require those meetings. These are applications that, meetings that would happen before somebody submits, so that details can be clarified up front, kind of the major questions and major talking points, so that those can be potentially addressed before officially submitting. And then changes are also being proposed by city staff to review authority and procedures with regards to the comprehensive plan amendments initiated by the mayor and aldermen or on behalf of the mayor and aldermen to not require submission or consideration by the planning commission. On the face of it, the ordinance change is relatively simple aside from a few sections, and I do want to point out 3 particular sections because the MPC did vote to add certain items into the changes proposed by city staff, and these are 3 of the kind of important key changes. The first change is section 3.4.1, which was added in by city staff, but MPC staff as well as the MPC body voted to strike it. That paragraph is the comprehensive plan amendments as previously mentioned on the last slide. The text states, notwithstanding any other provision in this ordinance to the contrary, any amendment initiated by or on behalf of the mayor and aldermen shall not be submitted to or considered by the planning commission unless specifically requested by the city manager or his or her designee. So again, I did a strike across the language of the title, but that entire paragraph was proposed stricken by the MPC. The next line to be added was the MPC director shall be notified of a city-initiated map amendment by postal or electronic mail at least 30 days prior to the scheduled public hearing. And then essentially the same language for rezoning applications. The MPC director shall be noted of a city-initiated map amendment by postal or electronic mail at least 30 days prior to the scheduled public hearing. Saying that, and again, I will apologize here for 2 recommendations. I can just read the one as they do match here. And I will note, I will read this last line first, as the Planning Commission did emphasize this point. The Planning Commission does not agree with the bypassing of the Planning Commission for any city-initiated text or map amendments. If council chooses to allow the city to bypass the MPC, the Planning Commission recommends a 30-day notice to the MPC prior to it going to City Council. However, the Planning Commission does see fit to approve this request to amend the several articles within the zoning ordinance to facilitate the transfer of application intake.
All right. Well, thank you very much. A couple of quick things, I think. Let me go ahead and just set the table so we're clear on where we are. And I can read the room. So these items are requested for first and second hearing, first and second reading today. They will only be on first reading. They will only be on first reading today. Mr. Manager, if you do not mind, I would ask that our next workshop will be to dive deeper into this. Apparently, there is some consternation from council, and let's go ahead and address that straight up. So if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
What we'll do, we'll handle it that way. We won't handle our first and second. We'll hold the hearing today as we should, and then once we're prepared to move a second reading, then we'll move on second reading. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Could we also make it contingent on an outreach to the building community, developers, builders, engineers?
Can't hear her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, we can do outreach to the development community.
Just outreach to the development community.
Sure.
I think that I'll confirm whether or not they participated in the process. This has been some months working on this with MPC, looking at Melanie for some affirmation there, but certainly we can include them as we work from first reading to a second reading consideration.
Mayor?
Thank you. Yes.
Is it possible that we could invite the MPC Commission as well? Because they're the ones that's,
Well, I mean, I think the issue, we need to deal with it from a city standpoint. We can invite whoever we wish to invite, obviously.
I think we should
It's
invite the
public.
commission.
It's public.
Yes, thank you.
But this is action that is being requested of council, so I think it's important that we have the opportunity to break that down so that council members are clear about what is being requested of them. This is
I
a,
understand, Mr. Mayor, but because MPC is the professionals, that professional arm, I would just like to hear from them when we
Well,
do our workshop.
I would ask that be through the city manager,
Right,
because
city manager.
although the MPC staff are professionals, the MPC board are appointed. And so again, I think that has to be navigated. I think this is part of what this process is to be able to make it more professional and less political. And so again, we'll leave it to the city manager's wisdom to determine how that comes about. But let me deal with what we have to deal with, and that is the public hearing regarding this item. So I'm declaring this public meeting, public hearing open. Ms. Glenda Jones has Instacart, so you have an opportunity to offer public comment, ma'am. You have 2 minutes after you give your name, address, and then we will go from there. One moment. All right, clerk is, oh, there you go, he's there, okay.
Good afternoon, Glenda Jones, Savannah resident. Just a quick question, because as I look at this item online, I only see through Article 6.0. Are there any other revisions that go with 7.0, 8.0, 9? Are there any other revisions that go with those? Several.
Yes.
Well, only 6 is online, so I
Well,
wasn't
that's
able.
that's why we need to, I mean, Mr. Manager?
The title reads clearly the texts that are being proposed for amendment. It's there are amendments within Articles 2.0, which are review bodies and administrators, 3.0, application and review procedures, 6.0, special 3 purpose districts, 7.0, overlay districts, 8.0, use standards, 9.0, general site standards, and 13.0, abbreviations and definitions. The red line copy, Ms. Jones, which is both provided an MPC staff red line copy, as well as, I believe, some notes from city staff as well, is also included online under this agenda, and I'm happy to give you my copy of it.
No, it's not included. Online, it only goes to Article 6.0.
If you would look at, instead of item number 17, which is the hearing,
Okay.
look instead to item number 19, which is the ordinance itself. And I'm happy to show you where it is online, and I'm also very happy
Okay,
to
I
give
can
you
find it.
my copy,
Y'all
which
gonna
is
hold
right
off the
here.
vote till I read it?
Okay, all right, we'll make sure you get what you, there we go. All right, thank you. All right. Then we have, you okay, Ms. Jones? Okay. Tom Woodwell?
Why would he?
Why do we? Thank you. All right. You have
That's
2
close
minutes
enough.
from the time that
Yeah.
you introduce your name.
My name is Tom Wywoody. I've served on the MPC since 2015, and I currently serve as the vice chair. I'm appointed by the county, and I'm not sure, I think it's agenda item 17. I'm here to talk about that. We heard that in the MPC regular meeting a couple of weeks ago, and we made some recommendations, and I believe that those are in your packet. There's a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to say that I've always been supportive of the belief that the MPC should be the front door of development in our community, and somebody wants to do something in our community, the first place they should go is the MPC. The MPC then can evaluate and triage where it needs to go. And forgive me for being winded, ran through the rain. In particular, there are a couple of the recommendations we came up with, and then they have been since modified, is 33.5.10, rezoning applications initiated by the mayor and alderman. There is confusion. The MPC director is identified as the person that is responsible, but the MPC director is not clearly defined as to who that is.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Oh, the MPC director is not clearly defined in the ordinance exactly who that is. So for future prevention of confusion, we think that needs to be clearly defined. The other thing is, one of the things that the MPC thought was advisable was to have any city alderman or mayor initiated changes be put through the MPC as a review process, and that is that's what our role is to review and make a recommendation. What this modification does is removes that review process of the MPC for city alderman and mayor initiated changes, which could result in changes to the comp plan that the MPC would not be aware of subsequently, which could lead to a further unraveling of our processes. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Well, I think, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think ultimately, part of our strategic goals at the beginning of our council is really to define a relationship. The fact is that the council actually determines policy. And so there are some things, if council wants or reserves the right to do it, the council reserves the right to do it. And, obviously opportunities that we might request a review. But on the other end of it, I think that the council has to retain its ability of being elected representatives of the people to be able to make those things that they feel are. But again, those are the types of things that have to be ironed out. And again, we've been down this road before, and I think this is the good opportunity time to be able to clearly define those relationships. I do appreciate you coming through the rain. I'm not sure I would have done it looking how your shirt is. And I would suggest you get out of this particular room because it's polar bear ice in here, and there will be ice soon forming on your shirt. But thank you. We do appreciate the role that MPC plays. I think it's just sometimes you have to redefine roles and relationships, but thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, wait 1 second. Yeah, are there any other comments from the gallery? From the gallery?
Oh, the gallery.
We're still in the public hearing. All right, it's going once, going twice. Is there a motion to close?
Mr. Mayor, move to close the hearing.
There's
Second the motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Have at it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I wanted to thank Mr. Waiwodi for his service from 2015. It's an incredible job. And while we're hurtling toward this, as I believe that, a workshop will happen and take a look at this, it's very difficult to piecemeal what's happening in the relationship between these two governing bodies, because we have to understand how far back this goes, that it was a vestige of a different time in a different place where maybe Chatham County and the city of Savannah would be one, maybe. But still today, we failed to address that alignment with what it is today. I do not understand or know why county appointees weigh in on recommendations on City of Savannah decisions. All City of Savannah residents are county residents, but not all county residents are City of Savannah residents. They have different interests, they have different needs, they have different wants, they have different outlooks. There's a different governing body that appoints other people to the recommendation committee for us.
Hello.
That has led to the confusion which still stands today. We have to address the entire structure, and I know that is a bigger challenge. It is a gigantic one. It's going to take seminars, it's going to take mediators. I don't know how long it's going to take, maybe a charter change. But do we have statutory authority to be on a county board somewhere and weigh in on just county decisions?
That's a negative.
I would love to see it. And as they have made it more and more difficult by the moment, I just seek a greater understanding. I think Savannahans have a right to say what Savannah does, period. And that's what I'd like to see from our planning commission in whatever capacity it takes moving here forward. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
You real powerful with that, huh? I'm sorry.
Hey, you stuck your chest out on it.
Just say it with your chest, huh?
And
Alderwoman?
Opposite of what Alderman Palumbo is saying, because I look at the fact that MPC, Metropolitan Planning Commission is a body that is supposed to do checks and balances when it comes to certain planning decisions, and they're the ones that are the professionals, and that's why we had them in place. And that's why I would ask you, Mr. Waterman, is that how you pronounce your name? Oh, thank you very much. With your experience on the MPC and others, to please come to that workshop when we do, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Let's be clear again, it's not a check and balance. The county of Chatham, or the Board of Commissioners, is an elected body. The mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah, we are an elected body. That is different than the Metropolitan Planning Commission, who is contracted by the city and the county with appointed members from the city and the county, with staff hired by, it's not the same. So let's make sure we're very, very clear about the relationship.
Mayor Johnson, it was a reason why they were even put in place.
I understand that, but it was also, as Alderman Palumbo said, it's a different time. But I want to make sure that we are very clear about what the relationship is. Ultimately, the elected folk is not the MPC. The people who are held accountable is not the MPC, with all due respect. It's the individuals that are there. We're the check and balance. So I want to make sure we're very clear about that. But again, it leaves us a great opportunity to start having these conversations about where we were, what we were, but more importantly, what we are now. And does the current structure work for who we are and what we do and how we are now? So again, I look forward to the conversation, and we may not solve it in one workshop, but I think it's a conversation and some work that we're going to have to do. But as you all know, we're not afraid of taking on big projects. Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
Okay, so I'll just try to put this as close as I can. So everybody knows that all cognacs are brandies, but all the brandies are not cognac, okay?
I don't know one way or
Yeah,
another.
it is. I used to run a bar. It is. I'm saying that because
You know.
I was one of the people who were advocating for this. We sit on this council making decisions that are going to last until somebody else comes and changes it, right? And so one of the problems that I have with 17 and 18 is we are also defining who is going to be responsible on this side. And so being a public servant and as an elected servant are two different things. And so I stand on being an elected servant, right? And so that elected servant is always going to outweigh the people that we appoint. So we got to be mindful of who we appoint. And that being said, I think the mayor said, I want to always be able to weigh in. I want to have 9 ayes as opposed to 1 eye. And if we vote on this right here, that's what it's going to mean. It means that this council is going to give up on the other side of MPC, our party, our professional advocacy and assistance to one person. And that would be the city manager. I'm not willing to do that. While I approve all of his recommendations, but to do that would mean that us sitting up here will be null and void. And so I am asking, and the mayor already said it, that before we vote on anything that's going to change something that's going to create a difference in the policies and the procedures, that moving forward, we really do need to have a workshop. 14 days is not enough to say that we understand it, because I'm telling you, I don't understand all of the nuances. And so if we're going to do that, then we should beat this up. We really should, and I appreciate you, Mr. City Manager and Mr. Mayor, and all the opinions, but I wouldn't be able to vote on anything that I don't understand, and that's why we're here, because we do have professionals, and that's what I want to do. I want to take in what they say, but I also want to take in what the people in the community say. And right now, the people of this community want to stand on what the elected officials say. We want to make sure that our marriage between the MPC and this board is conducive to the things that we say are decent, proper, and order. And right now, we have people on the board of commissions over there telling the county residents, they're telling us what we appointed them, and then, let me just stop, because I don't want to lose my train. We've got county people telling the city people, and that's why I said the cognac and the brandy, they're telling us basically how we should move on decisions that we make for our people. That's not fair, it's not consistent, and that's not what I'll do. I appreciate what you're doing. We need to have those positions, and they need to be clear, but for me, the clarity is the city makes the decisions that this board and what the people want. To do this 17 as it stands right now is something that I would vote against. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, we're moving to item number 18.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't had a chance to speak on this issue.
Sure.
In the first district, with the zoning and the procedural issues that we have experienced, in the last 25 years, I've been very active in advocating for the type changes we need in reference to planning in the first district. And right now, in this season, with the amount of growth and development that's coming, and especially towards the first district, we have had some success in the early part of the 2000s in working with the MPC. I think it was the first time ever the residents of that community were actually heard regarding the type development and the future path, without other people deciding that for us. This is what we think should go over there. But now we had an opportunity 25 years ago, 20 years ago, to partner with the MPC and some city staff in order to have some input on the direction we should go. Now, some of those recommendations have been codified, and some that are very, very important have not. Now, using the rationale we're using about making sure that the elected representatives of the city speak on behalf of the city, if we use that same rationale, then the district person should be able to have more input on representing the district. So I don't have faith in us putting this in the hands totally of the city, because I think we need the oversight based on my experience, not what I think, but what I have been through, and being out there on the battlefield and having enemies. And the enemy has always been city staff. I'm sorry, I just got to say it. That's always been our enemy, always the people we've been fighting to get the right thing to happen for our community. So I don't have a lot of faith in that unless we put a little bit more credence in the hands of the district person, because I was on the old zone, I was on the new zone, and a lot of the items that I needed to have looked at, I was told we'll look at it in the future, we'll just pass it for now. We finally got some duplexes, great, we needed that. We finally got the ADUs. We didn't get inclusionary zoning, we still got those overburdensome overlays. And so I don't have a lot of faith right now in any of the planning in the way that the district have been treated, because I know they are the ones who are holding the community back from having the economic investment and the economic opportunities leveraged that we know and we see we could have. We're not failing because of what we do, we're failing because what's done to us. So I don't have that faith right now. So my question is, and what I need to know, what is the path forward? Mr. City Manager, how are we going to move forward in order to come to some kind of parity and making sure that we have fairness and the right representation across the board?
Well, governance questions are a matter of policy, which City Council decides. I think in large part for the amendment that's before you was a genuine attempt to try to ensure that the front door of development, as Mr. Wywood said, started at the MPC, and that we had clear definitions of roles and responsibilities between what the Metropolitan Planning Commission staff performed and then what city staff performed, because we do have to work together on development that happens within the city. And there are roles, there are different roles, but they have overlapping roles. I think the issue at play that has become the concern about this amendment is regarding the provision that was included by city staff that reflects other powers that City Council has to retain the right to make comprehensive map amendment changes as a body, not as a city manager, not as one, but as 9, as a council. And that's a decision that, that authority is vested by the City Council for text amendments and map amendments by the state. This is about comprehensive map amendments, and that question should be answered by the 9 of you about what that oversight looks like, whether or not you retain that authority to do so, or whether or not you add a review step or another provision to it. That is the responsibility of the 9 of you. I think in terms of how we get from where we are today with the amendment, is, there for, 90% of the amendment, I think that there was pretty broad consensus on how we needed to revise these amendments to make more clear the roles and responsibilities of MPC versus city staff. So we can, I think when we do the workshop, and of course I will invite Melanie to join and present with us about these changes, is to focus on that 90% of the amendment that tries to streamline and make more clear the process for how we do and review development decisions within the city of Savannah and as it relates to our relationship with MPC. I would then suggest that City Council and the city attorney have a discussion about governance and the authority that you either want to retain or by an act of council give away or modify in some way. That would be my suggestion on how you as the elected legislative body of the city make a decision around governance and policy specific to this amendment. And I will be prepared at the August 27th workshop, if MPC is available to do so, to go through the 90% of this amendment that I think there is broad consensus on between the 2 professional staffs and from the Metropolitan Planning Commission, which gave us that recommendation, and to talk through those specifics so everybody has an understanding of what's changing in the process. And then City Council should have a discussion, and I would leave that to be led by your city attorney, to talk about the governance structures and the authorities that the City Council would like to retain, or would like to modify in some way.
Thank you. All right, let me just say this, and then we're moving on. And this is just for me. I'm speaking for myself. I appreciate city staff. It's hard instituting a will and a vision sometimes of 9 alpha personalities that are sometimes all going in different situations, in different directions, or that changes on the temperature or the weather or the day. We all have different ways of how we think things should go, or a vision of how things should go, sometimes contrary to the collective vision. And so for me, the work that we get done gets done because of a highly capable and professional staff. And so I don't ever want any member of Team Savannah, the 2,600 who get out and bust their behinds, to ever think, and I'm only speaking for me, that I don't appreciate their efforts and appreciate the conditions under which they work. It's hard. We are dealing with literally life issues here that affect people and that people feel very, very very strongly about. And so I wanted to lift that into the atmosphere for Team Savannah. I may not always agree, but I am always grateful. And Mr. Manager, if you would make sure in wherever and however, because I'm sure you will interact with folks that question that. It's not necessarily our job to always agree, but I'm always grateful and always extremely proud of those members who choose Team Savannah. So, that being said, item number, I want to move on because we have a time-sensitive item to number 60. Number 60 is time-sensitive. Just don't go too far, okay? Item number 60 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of water and sewer revenue bonds, Series 2026, and we have to do this quickly. An approximate amount of $142.4 million, but the actual issuance ended up being $137,595,000. That sale happened this morning at 10 a.m. This is historic for us because this is 3 times larger than our previous bond issuance. The largest before was for the arena at $45,120,000. This demonstrates our real commitment, y'all, to funding water and sewer infrastructure improvements.
That's right, Mr. Mayor.
This is big money,
Do it.
big money, big money. And you all said very, very clearly and charged our team that we wanted to make big infrastructure improvements.
That's right.
The stormwater fee was a part of that. The bonds now have been issued. The fees will help to pay some of that back. And because we have a AAA rating, that helps us as well.
You gotta say that again
So,
one more time. Triple A, Mr. Mayor. What'd you
yeah,
say?
it's like 3 A's.
Yes, sir.
If it was 4, we would go for 4.
Come on.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I
Go
move-
ahead.
To adopt the agenda item as written.
There's a second. Probably moved in second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Attorney, if there's something you need to do, go ahead and let's get that done. Thank you. Let me move. Yeah, let's clap for that. Let me just.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
When we get ready to do those projects, I would like to have a list of those projects and when they're going to be done and the locations. Thank you.
Yes, the city manager's already committed that once, because of the fact that now we have a dedicated funding source, it is easier to project. I'm sorry, go ahead.
A few things. So happy that we approved AAA rating for our for the city of Savannah. Our water and sewer enterprise is is AA1
plus, yeah.
AA1.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to celebrate AAA on that soon. This is the first time that we're doing 3 years worth of bonds. The projects that are being funded through these bonds will be in your capital improvement plan.
Yes, it is.
Capital improvement plan that is discussed and considered every year for the future fiscal year. Capital improvement plans also span 5 years.
City manager,
And you'll be able to see all of those projects.
I want a list
Before
they get to the capital improvement plan.
Ma'am, the list will be included in the proposed capital improvement plan, which will come to you in November. So that's when that list will be provided.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
The Alamo, we
All right.
for the initiative.
Item number 18 is a petition of Bridget Liddy on behalf of the mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah for a zoning text amendment to add permitted use and associated development standards to Articles 5.0 base zoning districts, 8.0 use standards, 9.0 general site standards, 13.0 abbreviations and definitions to permit several different housing types in multiple districts. You can go ahead and again, just in advance, this is going to be on first reading only, so we'll have the hearing today, but we won't take action today. Go ahead.
Good afternoon again, Eli Zarka, Senior Planner from the MPC. So this is item 26-00237-0-ZA, Housing Toolkit, to add permitted uses and use standards to accommodate additional housing types. And again, this is across several chapters, which I will get into some. The broad amount of this will also be completely in your staff report. I will go over the higher level aspects. So several types of more dense residential uses are being added to 2 district classifications, the business office and institutional districts. as well as the business districts. Also, additional design standards and other conditions are being added for the use of townhomes and multifamily style residences, as well as district characters that are being updated to reflect these newly added uses. So you will see here at the bottom right the use table, and you will see the bottom right of that table. In the red, you will see where these uses are being introduced. The check is a by right use, the L is a limited use. I will get into some of that later, but that refers to the additional standards and conditions. So currently, none of those uses are permitted in the OI and the B districts. As far as where those districts are located throughout the city, this is a map. The blue, if I can read the very tiny writing, I believe is the business district, or the office and institutional. The red is the business district. So these are where these are broadly located across the city. I will point out that the reason for the kind of vacant area in the urban core is because there are other districts, such as the downtown and traditional districts, that cover a lot of the commercial uses and where these things would be allowed in those areas already. So those are not included as part of this ordinance update. Here is the office and institutional districts. And again, a lot of this information and even more is in your staff report and within the agenda. I'm pulling out a few things to point out. These are the proposed development standards for OIT, that is office and institutional transition, OI, office and institutional, and office institutional expanded. One of the things I would just point out to give you an idea of where this stands with regards to some of the other zoning districts in the city's ordinance, the site area per unit essentially sets what your density is allowed to be at, how big your property needs to be and how many lots can go in. 2,400, 2,100, and 1,750. This is the least dense out of the group. So while it is being introduced in some of these districts, it is more appropriate for the areas that this district typically occurs in. For the business districts, that would be business limited, business neighborhood, and business community. So these are the development standards just as the previous slide. Again, I will use the site area per unit metric just to give you an idea of where this stands intensity-wise. This is kind of this is more intense, more dense than what is permitted in the office and institutional districts, but not as dense as the strict multifamily districts or even some of the downtown and traditional districts. So this is kind of your middle of the road option, but currently business neighborhood, which is the predominantly common B district, especially as far as smaller parcels go outside of the very large, very commercial mall type developments, that is going to be your most common zoning. Here are some of the additional standards for townhouses, stacked townhouses, and apartments. I won't go through all of these. I'm just going to point out two kind of specific ones. A, buildings containing dwelling units shall be set back no less than 100 feet from the following as measured from the nearest point. Interstates, limited access streets as defined, so major highways, major roads that may not be appropriate to have these kind of things nearby. Railroad right-of-way or spur, as well as a Class 6 use as defined in the buffers section. That would be your more industrial, high-level commercial style uses. And that you would have seen recently in the industrial buffers amendment as some of those things that would even be buffered on their end as well. The other thing I will point out here, because this has been a concern that has come up both from this board, the Planning Commission, as well as members of the community, vehicle parking requirements. This is E. Vehicle parking requirements for residential units may be reduced by 5% per 1,000 square feet of non-residential principal uses in a mixed-use building containing at least 10 dwelling units. This allows vertical mixed use in areas where previously it was not possible by code. Just as an example, within the urban core area and really the traditional and downtown districts, you're allowed to do this with upper floor residential and commercial on the bottom floor, but that didn't really exist or as easily possible in the business and office districts. So this is providing some things that help out, specifically if they go that way. And then here also related to parking, transit and multimodal pedestrian and bicycle network access. These are some additional standards that may reduce parking requirements if you're within certain distance to bike and pedestrian as well as transit stops. And then the last thing I want to specifically point out for use buffers, Class 2 and Class 3 specifically, there was a threshold where if you did residential development of a certain amount of units, you triggered a certain type of buffer. Previously, that was at 5 units, so if you did less, if you did 4 units or less, you had the Class 2 buffer. If you did more, if you did 5 units or more, then you hit Class 3 being the slightly more intense buffer, more requirements, size, those kind of things. That threshold has been changed to 25 instead of 4. But the actual buffer itself, the technicalities of that buffer has not changed. With that, the Planning Commission recommends approval of the request to amend Articles 5, 8, 9, and 13 to permit several different housing types.
All right, thank you. This is a public hearing, and I'm now declaring open. Does anyone have anything regarding this items? Mr. Clerk, do you have anything? Going once, going twice. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Yes, ma'am.
Second motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now, let me go back. So I said first reading. Are we all good with that? Or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. No, well, we're removing this from first and second as was requested, just for it to be on first. Whatever time we need. That's right. All right. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Comment.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I had a question. Could you go back to your use table, please? So in the business designations there, we have business, neighborhood, business, commercial, and what's the other?
Business limited.
Limited?
Yes, ma'am. BL.
BL, okay. So some of these corridors have these type designation on them. Most of they're not internal down into neighborhoods. They're on these exterior streets. Is that correct?
Typically, I won't say that may be the case in every situation, but these are the outside of the urban core. These are your standard commercial districts. These are the ones you're going to see most of the time. Those will mostly be outside of the residential blocks.
I just want to make sure that what we're proposing is what is being requested, and what's being requested is the ability to have housing on these commercial boulevards, these commercial corridors, but upstairs or in the back, they won't retail on the main corridors, with maybe some housing options up top, or is that what we're doing here?
So this gives a flexibility to do that, to just do the commercial, to just do multifamily, or to mix the two together.
And that's where I'm gonna need to be speaking to somebody about some tweaking. Just imagine West Bay Street, we don't want a triplex or apartments. We want retail and commercial with housing maybe up top or in the rear, but the frontage being retail, not housing on that major business corridor. So I don't know if this would apply to any other areas where they would run into that same type of concern, but I know we're coming back, so before we come back, I want to support this because we definitely want the housing, need the housing, but if we need to do something to that particular or those particular major corridors, those gateways, to make sure that they stay business mainly, primarily, but we want an option to have some housing, so.
Agreed.
How do we approach that?
Agreed. All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go ahead and move on from that. Thank you very much. You were standing up a long time today. All right. We're going to go ahead. This is on first reading, so we're leaving this alone. We're moving on to item number 58.
Mr. Mayor?
Which, yes, sir.
After you read it, I'll take it.
Resolution authorizing the city manager to submit the FY 2026 continuing care application to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and enter into a memorandum of understanding and grant agreement with the subrecipient for federal assistance to the project's sponsor. Alderman Pertee.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve.
Second.
Second, properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 59, resolution authorizing the sale of the Downtown Savannah Authority taxable revenue bonds, Series 2026 Eastern Wharf Parking Project to the low bidder and authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the authority to secure the debt service.
So moved, sir.
There a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-1. Item number 61, approval of a resolution to submit an application to the Georgia Transportation Infrastructure Bank for protected bike lanes on Hampshire Street and Hudson Memorial Drive located in Alderman District 4. Alderman Palumbo.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move for the approval of a resolution to submit an application to the Georgia Transportation Infrastructure Bank for protected bike lanes on Haversham Street and Hodgson Memorial Drive in Aldermanic District 4.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Look under agreements, items number 62 through 68. Are there any pullouts? No, sir. All right. Item number 62, authorize city manager to accept the initial PY26 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grant awards for adults, $162,603, and dislocated worker, $275,181. Item number 63, authorize city manager to accept the PY26 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act Youth Grant Award in the amount of $1,083,397. Item number 64, approval of a water and sewer agreement with Stanley Martin Homes for the McClendon Tract, a development consisting of single-family homes located off of Little Neck Road in the Travis Field Treatment Plant area in Aldermanic District 5. Item number 65, approval of a memorandum of understanding for roadway improvements between the City of Savannah, Chatham Parkway, and Landmark 24 Homes for Wild Heron Landing.
Yes.
Item number 66, approval of an agreement between the mayor and alderman for the City of Savannah and Healthy Savannah for the 2025 Nutrition Access, Affordability, and Education Grant Program Award in the amount of $125,000. And this is a grant that I was able to secure as president of the African American Mayors Association.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Item number 27.
Mr. Mayor, we have a representative from Healthy Savannah in the building.
All right, Wade, good to see you, sir. We've been here for a long time, so I just wanted, we'll just give you the check, all right? I know you just want the check, right?
Check.
Item number 67, approval of an amendment to an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Savannah, the County of Chatham, for the development of an early childhood learning center located in Aldermanic District 2. Item number 68, authorize city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Chatham County for design and construction costs associated with Bush Roads improvements located in Aldermanic District 5.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I move to adopt the agenda items as written.
Second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 69 is a retroactive approval of a facility use agreement with the Board of Education for use of the pool facilities at Haven Elementary School in Aldermanic District 5 and Otis J. Brock Elementary School in Aldermanic District
Mayor.
1.
Mr.
Yes,
Mayor,
ma'am.
I
Mayor,
need to recuse
I move
myself.
to adopt.
Yes,
the
stop.
agenda
One moment.
I need to recuse
Right.
myself for purposes of employment.
Thank you, Alderman Pertee. Go ahead.
I move to adopt the agenda items.
Alderman Blakely,
I was gonna move to adopt
go ahead.
the
Second,
item
go ahead.
as written.
Is there a
Second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Alderman Pertee has recused himself. Items number 70 and 71. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost home. 70, 71.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle a claim of Stephen DeLong for $60,000. Item number 71, move to authorize the city attorney's office to settle a claim of Mac R. Dixon for $80,000.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded that we authorize the city manager's office to settle the claim of Stephen DeLong for $60,000. And item number 71, authorize the city attorney's office to settle the claim of Mac R. Dixon for $80,000. You heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you to our city attorney's office. Items number 72 through 74. Are there any pullouts?
No, sir.
Item number 72, authorize the city manager to approve supplemental quarter 2 budget appropriations to the fiscal year 2026 budget. Item number 73, authorize city manager to approve a major subdivision within Hopeton Landing Plan Development for Hopeton East Lot Z of the Hubert Keller Estate off of Little Nook Road located in Automatic District 5. And item number 74, authorize city manager to approve a major subdivision within Oglethorpe Office Park located in Automatic District 4.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move to adopt the agenda item as written.
Second motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Ladies and gentlemen, the monster agenda, we came, we saw, we conquered.
Yeah.
It is 4:11. I said 4:30, so I was a little off. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, how we go from here depends on you. I do know in a few minutes, biology is going to call me somewhere else.
You better stop.
So, what side should I start from? All right. Alderwoman Bell. Thank you. Alderwoman Blakely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say to our water department, Mr. Feldner and Mr. Anthony Caston and their team, that we are getting ready to put out the water barrels, and the locations for those water barrels will be, and let me tell you this, you need to bring a copy of your Savannah utility bill to any participating rain barrel event from 4 to 7 p.m. The first one will be Monday, August 24th at Connors Temple Baptist Church. The second one will be on Tuesday, August 25th at the WW Law Center. The third one will be Wednesday, August 26th at the Park Center. The fourth one will be Thursday, August 27th at the Jewish Education Alliance. The fifth one will be Monday, August 31st at Windsor Forest Center. The sixth one will be Tuesday, September 1st at the Tatumville Community Center. And the seventh one will be Wednesday, September 2nd at the Hudson Hill Community Center. And I'm hoping that our citizens and residents will take advantage of this. You have to get a water barrel, and it takes a certain amount off of your stormwater fee if you obtain this water barrel. It is very, very important that you do this just because of what's happening in our city during major thunderstorms and rains. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Pertee.
Stay cool, be blessed.
Thank you. Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to commend the mayor and the Municipal Archives team for hosting a wonderful reenactment of the 250th anniversary of the reading of the Declaration of Independence. It might have been hot, but it was a great time had by all. Congratulations to the team.
Alderman Palumbo, thank you for serving as our my appointee. And again, we're still in 250 all year long. Thank you. Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to, along with our mayor and our city manager, to invite the public out to a wonderful ceremony that's about to take place in reference to our civic center. The demolition for the MLK portion of our civic center of the arena is coming down, and there is going to be a ceremony on August the 20th, and I believe at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're asking everyone to please come out. We're talking about having some commemorations of giving out bricks and just a wonderful thing for the community. So that is on August the 20th in reference to our MLK demolition of the arena at the Civic Center. Let's all come together and be together. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
10 a.m. I believe you all received your invitations today.
Yes.
Okay.
We did.
Thank you. Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, I want to thank Luciana and her staff for share your story in your district. It was amazing to walk down memory lane and actually discover some of the things that I've actually touched. However, due to unforeseen circumstances at the Pennsylvania Avenue Resource Center, District Share Your Story Week activities for tomorrow have been relocated here, and the Saturday Share Your Stories have been canceled. So You can drop in your memories, and that's everybody with not only in the 3rd district, in every district. If you have pictures and history that you'd like to share, then we want to have it shared. Thank you so much. And also, we want to thank, I think Mr. Mayor alluded to it. I am grateful for the city staff, and the issue that I had nothing to do with city staff. It had to do with what my job duties are, and I want to make that clear. Nobody screams, holler, and is loud for Team Savannah more than Linda Wilder, Brian. I appreciate you. I'm grateful, and I want you to know that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Thank you on behalf of the 2nd District. Everything looks good. It's pretty good and clean. I just wanted to ask everybody to, and for the next 7 days, please keep your eye on the tropics because we have 2 storms out. And I know it's going to be a lot of activity, so if we do have a storm, please make sure you have conversations and contacts with your loved ones as we move forward.
Thank you. Alderwoman Lanier.
Yes, I don't have any announcements, but I want to thank the city manager for the time we took earlier and answering the questions and going through our material. I think that knocked a couple of hours off of the meeting. I thought we were going to be here until 6 o'clock, but we really went through and we were able to understand some things. So thank you for that, Jay. That's it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. A couple of quick things. The first thing is, and thank you, Alderwoman Bell. Sorry to hear about the passing of Beth Robinson. Many of you have been around for a while. I know Alderwoman Bell. I know I've worked with Beth Robinson for a while, served as a director, HR director, and served in various capacities, passed away. And her funeral mass is on Friday, August the 14th at 3 p.m. at the Episcopal Church of St. Paul the Apostle, 1802 Abercorn Street. Thank you for lifting this, and may her memory be a blessing. That was the first thing. The second thing I wanted to lift was is that we have a lot of calls of people coming and calling in about their water bills. And I want to lift this because I think it's important. If you have a question about it, call our water department directly. We kind of forecasted this would happen when we moved to water meters that were more automated. The reality is that the infrequent checking of manual water meters made calculations and calibrations difficult. We know now that we have much more precise systems. It probably now reflects the actual cost of water that's been used all of that time. So if you have a question, go ahead and call and get it checked out. I called and checked out. I thought my water bill was too high, but I had a leak. So got the leak fixed, and life is better now. I believe.
Mr. Mayor, just one thing, Mr. Mayor. We want to lift up. No, don't do it yet. Mr. Mayor, we lost.
Let me start here.
Okay.
Want to send out our condolences and sympathies to Alderwoman Carol Bell, who lost her brother on July 13th.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. We weren't aware. We're sorry, Alderwoman Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, we want to lift up, I forget her name. She's a warrior. She passed today. I forget her name. School board advocate.
Oh, Teresa.
Teresa.
Yeah, Teresa Watson. Yeah, passed away. She was a union representative for the, I guess, Federation of Teachers. So, yeah. All right.
Mr. Mayor.
People getting away from here. Y'all better do nice. Be nice.
I would like to extend a belated birthday to our clerk, Mr.
That's
Mark
right.
Massey, whose birthday was Monday.
On Monday. He is 32 years old.
I know that's right.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Since we're talking about birthdays, my great-grandson, Champ, don't go there. His birthday was on the same day as Mr. Massey's. Happy birthday, Champ.
All right. Mr. Manager, do you have anything, sir?
It's so great to see y'all. Thank you for the patience.
Do you mean that, sir?
I do, earnestly. With
You mean
today's,
that, Jay? You mean that?
with I do, yes, ma'am.
You missed
with
us?
Today's long meeting, I did. Thank you all for hitting some heavy stuff. We've still been working through recess.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, do you have anything? Mr. Clerk, do you have anything? Ladies and gentlemen,
We're out.
we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Drinks on Jay. Yes, sir.